And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. I am Kyle. This is Callum. Callum, how you feeling today?
Fucking beans, mush.
Beans. Good for your heart. The more you eat, the more lie shall shart. You had a good day?
Just been inside updating Windows, mate.
Oh,
It's as good as it gets.
that's a shame.
Yeah.
You know, I do it on weekend because I like to save it, and then I get to watch it and not be interrupted.
Well, in my case, it's a bit more unique. I was actually installing Windows, so it needed to do all these updates. Otherwise, I would have just left it. But because I'm installing Windows, I had to.
Nobody ever updates Windows. Man, I've still got it bottom corner, activate Windows.
Yeah, I'm not. Again, I have had to install Windows, so it's needed these mandatory updates for the thing to work properly. Because right now, it's all not wanting to work.
Yeah. Right, guys.
Other than that.
Furiosa review. We've been messing around with the video. It's, I've been putting a lot of time and effort into it. And it's just not coming out the way we want it to.
Fuck off.
What do you mean?
You put a lot of time into it.
Well, how long's the video?
It's about 13 minutes
I'll
long.
put 13 minutes effort into it then.
Yeah, but I'm editing it. I'm doing all the cool stuff.
Well, not fucking quick enough. It's not at the standard we want because Kyle's letting it slack a bit.
Fucking hurt you.
You couldn't. Maybe emotionally.
No, I'm using a not very great editor. I'm not too familiar with it. So we've decided, let's just buy the whole Adobe package because I'm familiar with that. Callum's sort of familiar with that. And we can just fully get our videos up to a better quality now.
Yeah.
So I'm just working on getting Adobe installed and everything. And then we should have these green screen videos up and running. Other than that, right now the editor I'm using, it's good, but I just
You
can't
just
be fucked
fucking
with it.
spoiled it.
Spoiled what?
People didn't know it was a green screen.
Ah, well, there's a green screen.
It's a green screen. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get on to our very first topic of the very first Wednesday of this week. And that is, we have got a first trailer for the new John Watts film, Wolves. This looks like it's two fixers who seemingly have to come and work together and do some fixing. Now, Kyle, what did you think of this trailer? And did you love it? Did you hate it?
As far as trailers goes, it wasn't great. I mean, I like the concept and the idea, and obviously John Watts behind it, and obviously Brad Pitt. I just love Brad Pitt. He's fucking hilarious to me, and he's always sort of like, he's just really entertaining to watch on screen. So,
Yeah.
I think this film will be enjoyable, entertaining. I just don't think the trailers really do it justice, or it could just be a really shit film. But
look, it looks like we're just gonna get some dumb fun, which I am okay with.
It reminds me of what's that one with Ryan Gosling in it now? Nice Guys.
Yeah.
It's kind of got a similar vibe to that with these two. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I see that a bit. But like you mentioned, John Watts is involved with this. If you don't know John Watts, you do know John Watts because he did all of the MCU Spider-Man films. So I'm actually quite interested now to see what he's doing after the MCU. So he's doing this, and we obviously know he's involved with the Skeleton Crew as well, the Disney Plus Star Wars series. So that'll be interesting.
That being said, though, Callum, I mean, you look at, some of the directors. Prime example is the Russo
Russo
brothers.
brothers.
Everything they've done sort of after the MCU, after they wrapped up and finished with Endgame, it wasn't great. We had a couple of pretty big misses, which is quite sad, and a lot of producer credits, and it just didn't really help these movies in any way.
Yeah.
So going into this again, it's like with Tom Holland. He was under the same curse. Everything after or in between the Spider-Man films, it was just not that great. So
But
we'll have to
Uncharted were
wait
like
and
the best
see.
film of 22.
Uncharted, I had fun with Uncharted, but it wasn't the best film of 2022. I know
Yeah.
you're being sarcastic, but it was.
I'm not sarcastic. I'm not a sarcastic person.
You're right. You're a cunt.
Well, shit, can't argue with that because a cunt I am. But that's alright. It's a term of endearment. You cunt. But yeah, like, this trailer looks fun. It's nice to get Clooney and Pitt together. The one shot I did like in the trailer is when he fucking knocks that kid over and he's like doing like the flip over car and Brad Pitt's character's just looking at him just like...
Yeah.
And he lands on his feet. And then they start chasing him again. So yeah, this looks like overall a pretty fun film. I know we'll be there opening second to see this.
It's Apple original, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, I think it is. But Sony as well. So that might be the distributor with this, Sony. So yeah, looks fun. I'll go watch it. John Watts, I've got faith in it. But right, let's go on to our next topic, Kyle. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Blade is getting another rewrite. Who would have thought the day would come when Blade is getting a rewrite? Now, this is coming to us from Daniel RPK, and apparently, they've got the general story planned out. They kind of know, well, they know where it's going. So all it is now is script revisions, like, dialogue, maybe a scene here or there. But apparently the positive we can take away from this is they've got the general direction. They've been working on it for fucking 5 years, so you'd hope they'd have the general direction locked down by now. Question I will ask you is, are you shocked to hear that Blade's going to have another rewrite?
Mate, this fucking... Do you know what? It's starting to become like somewhat of a... how Star Wars is?
Yeah.
After the sequels. It was like, oh yeah, we're getting all these Star Wars films and none of them were fucking happening. It's kind of the same thing, but with one fucking movie in Marvel. So, it's sad, to be honest, because, there was a bit of glimmer of hope. We're coming up to the end of the tunnel. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and now it's just been fucking snatched away from us.
So I've got 2 more questions for you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
First one is, do you think Mahershala Ali is actually going to stay around as Blade?
Good question. It's not looking very good because
he signed on in 2019. That big Comic-Con panel right after Endgame came out. Marvel was at its highest, and it's like, and here you go. Look who we got to play Blade. 2-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali, and apart from a voice line in Eternals, and apparently he's going to be in Marvel Zombies, we ain't seen jack shit of this man as Blade. Which I'm really excited to see him as Blade as well, and I'm going to be upset if we don't get to see him as Blade. My other question is, do you think the film's actually going to happen now? Do you think the film's going to happen, and maybe if Mahershala walks away, do you think that's where they'd go, we're done, we're not doing Blade anymore? We tried.
Yeah, if he walks, that's it, the movie's dead. There's nothing they can really salvage from it, I don't think.
Do you not think they'd go for a recast, or... And it's not even a recast, is it? Because he's done a voice line. He's been I mean, it would be a recast, but yeah. I think I'm holding on hope. I think he's going to stay on because he's clearly passionate about the project. He's been attached to it for 5 years. It'd have walked a long time ago if he didn't want to do it. Now say that and he'll fucking main story tomorrow will be Mahershala Ali fucking leaves Blade. But yeah, they are still set to start shooting at the end of the year though. That's the date is still down. So I'm gonna say if they don't make that date, he's gone. He's gonna walk.
Yeah, I think either that or he's just going to be like, right, I'm not going to take any sort of behind the scenes role anymore because he's investing too much time.
Well, yeah, he's producing. He's picked a writer, which obviously they're not using now. The word is that a lot of the key players at Marvel are actually happy with the script how it is. Now, that could be Kevin Feige himself. You don't know, but if he's taking on more of that creative role that he had in the past, you'd think so. But, yeah. We were supposed to see this film last year. Its original, I'm pretty sure Blade's original date was November 3rd, 2023. Oh well. It's coming. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe it's not.
Probably not.
Probably
which
not.
is it's just sad to say because like this seems like it's kind of like, do you know what it feels like, Callum? It reminds me of the Ben Affleck, directing his own Batman movie. It feels like a sort of situation to that.
Yeah. Do you know the more we hear about that Ben Affleck Batman movie, I love Matt Reeves, the Batman. I'll say it right now, Robert Pattinson, you've seen the video on the channel. Robert Pattinson is my favourite Batman. But the more I hear about this Ben Affleck directed Batman movie, it's like, oh! We could have had something so juicy and beautiful. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. Looks like we won't be getting the Ben Affleck Batman film. But we are still set to get Blade. Hopefully things fall in place and we get it. And I just hope that this man is getting paid a fucking lot for this now because like you said, he's put a lot of time in. And one more question for you, actually. Do you think all the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, do you think that's going to affect people's excitement for it? Or do you think most people just, most people aren't losers like us and know that this has been rewritten about 6 times?
No, I think the biggest comment you'll get when people go see this, if it comes out in the cinema, is like, when was it supposed to come out? A couple of years ago. Yeah. And it's like, yeah.
Why did this feel like 6 scripts glued together?
Hopefully it's not that. But
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they start losing cast members soon, though. I believe it's Delroy Lindo. I think that's his name. Don't kill me if it's wrong. He's connected to it, and Mia Goth as well. Mia Goth's busy. The Scream Queen herself. She's always doing horror things, and they might just go. She might have to. Someone's gonna have to go. Well, not someone don't have to go, but anyway, let's get on to our next topic. Speaking of a universe that is just beginning, James Gunn was asked on Threads if he's please wink if you have any plans for Deathstroke. He sent back a wink emoji. Right, next topic. No. I'll ask you this. Obviously, he's saying he's got plans for Deathstroke. What do we think them plans could be? It could be anything. It could be a series. He could be the main villain in the Batman film, which is The Brave and the Bold, which I think is the perfect direction to take it, because it'd be something very different to what we've had before. I don't know. He could be in Peacemaker Season 2. Who knows? He could be in Supergirl. He could be in Superman. where do you think we're going to see Deathstroke? And do you think it's going to be sooner rather than later? Because him just saying he's got plans doesn't mean anything initially. Well, it means something. It means he's going to use the character, but...
The easiest bet, the safest bet is definitely the Batman. In what capacity, we don't know.
Yeah, the brave and the bold.
Let's just hope it's not a situation where it's with the Deathstroke that we could have had, where it's just literally a post-credit scene. I want to see Deathstroke. I want to see him. I want to see him do some shit.
Well, do we think Joe Manganiello's going to reprise the role? I don't think so. He could still do it.
Potentially. I think he would, because, he seemed like he was really down for it. I think I saw him in like an interview. I think, it wouldn't confuse people either. It's not one of those situations where that's an issue. It's just...
Yeah, it's not like he was a main role in the films. It was a post-credit scene, and then in the Snyder Cut. So I wouldn't mind seeing Joe Manganiello. There's other people who could play Deathstroke as well. Obviously, this is a beloved character.
That'd be a great fan cast.
What?
Just
video?
Doing...
Well, once we get through our X-Men, I do want to start doing the DC Universe next. Because that's coming up. And if we don't get moving on that, it'll all be cast by the time we get doing it. So, yeah. But, I think we're going to see him in The Brave and the Bold as the villain. It's, I think putting Slade Wilson, I nearly said Wade Wilson, and putting Slade Wilson against Damian Wayne, two people with these kind of same ideologies, and they're not afraid to kill, and then Bruce has got to kind of get between that.
It would definitely, like, I agree with what you're saying, but also it's a nice change as opposed to obviously Matt Reeves' Batman. Matt Reeves' Batman, it's got its action pieces, but it's not really about that. Whereas this, it's like you're going to have these fucking well-trained killers just going at each other, and, they're going in sort of like a very brutal way. Whereas, like, the Riddler, it's like you've got to think about what's happening and figure it out. Whereas, like, Deathstroke's just fucking, he knows shit, and he's just fucking going in for the kill.
Well, that's it.
He's not holding back.
I can only think off the top of my head where we've seen in a Batman film, just a Batman film, where Batman has gone against someone who's a physical match for him, and that would be The Dark Knight Rises going against Bane. A lot of the time it's with Batman, it's using his brain, beating up henchmen, which we all like to see. But yeah, I think back to that Arkham Origins fight that you have. That's fucking spectacular. And if we could see a 10-minute one take Bruce Wayne, Damian Wayne versus Slade Wilson, that would be fucking spectacular, and I would love to see that. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get into our next topic. The topic you've all been waiting for. Beast! We're going to be picking 3 people each who we think should play Beast in the upcoming X-Men movie. You know how this works. You've been staying along, you've been watching the videos, you've been letting us know who you think should play these characters. Also, you've been saying that's the problem with white people. But we won't get into that because, yeah. But me and Kyle are just some dumbass white people. But anyway, casting Beast. We got 3 each. I think we've got 3 each. You got 3?
I've got 3, yeah.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Can do, yeah. So, full disclaimer again, I said this in the last video. I don't know X-Men all too well. The Beast character, I don't know all that much of. I know he's sort of like, he wants to do it by the book, and he's obviously, he's very intelligent, and, he's beast. He looks, he's big blue guy.
It big.
Big blue guy.
Make sure you
But
pick.
yeah,
Make sure you pick someone who's the right shade of blue, though.
yeah. Right. Anyways, if again, I think age is like the big factor in when we're doing these casting. It's like
I've gone for like very different
yeah.
ages.
I think mine's like a nice
Are you going practical as
older,
well, or practical
middle.
or VFX?
Ooh, I think it will be a mix of both.
Because I've gone full into the mocap realm of it with mine because look, I think that's the route they're gonna go.
Potentially, I feel like they'd go. Here's the thing: I feel like they'd go somewhat practical at the beginning. CGI is still getting better, but do you see Disney, Marvel putting in that much money into making Beast look super realistic, like Avatar level or Caesar level realistic?
No, but I could
put
see
all that effort into
I
it.
see him going Thanos level.
I don't.
Okay.
Not because the character's not big. I just don't see it as them. Like it's like an investment for them.
Yeah, no, that's like, and this is why it's great because we've both got different ideas of what they're gonna do as well.
Yeah.
So I think I think we're gonna have very different picks this time.
I think practical is definitely a good way to go, but also add on to the CGI.
Yeah, right.
But full CGI, I think later on when the effects of Thanos are much easier to do and don't cost as much, then that's when I see it.
Okay.
But we're not there yet.
All right.
And with the pace that these Marvel movies come out, I don't think it's possible.
Hit us.
So for my somewhat older pick, I guess you could say, someone who would play a very well experienced version of the character, I think, from my limited knowledge. We've seen him recently in Civil War. Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
He just seems like, he seems like he knows what he's talking about whenever he's on screen. But at the same time, he's like...
Ron Swanson Beast. Yes, please.
He's just very sort of like, you don't want to mess with him kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I think he'd bring a nice sort of like softer... Which is kind of what Beast is. He doesn't, he's this big blue, look, bear-looking guy. But really, he's not, he's nothing like that personality-wise. He's quite soft and
all right.
patient.
I like your pick. My only issue with it is, and this is because I'm a massive Parks and Rec fan, all I'm going to be able to see is Ron Swanson. And just thinking of all the Ron Swanson quotes. I
disagree because I think he's a great actor.
He is a great actor, and he is actually, especially with Last of Us, he is really coming out of that comedy shell. Like, obviously, there's a reason why he won, the award for Last of what was it? A guest appearance, best performance from a guest appearance in a show. There's a reason why he won, because he was fantastic in that episode. They took this, a big character in the game, but made it so much bigger, so much more full of life.
Yeah.
But yeah. Right. My number 3.
Okay, yours?
I am going with this first one, very mocap. And one of our mocap people who's very well known for it, but not too known for it. Kind of going against what I said there. If you know your mocap stuff, you know Toby Kebbell. He's a great actor, but he also is very good at the mocap. Obviously, he did Koba in the Planet of the Apes films. I'm pretty sure he did the mocap for Kong in Skull Island as well, and he was in Skull Island. If I remember correct, I could be wrong.
I don't know, because I remember seeing Andy Serkis somewhere around that film.
And Andy Serkis did it, the old Kong film, the Peter Jackson one.
That's it, yeah. Sorry, yeah, I'm getting it mixed up. Yeah,
I could be wrong here, but yeah, Toby Kebbell is great. He played Doom in the Fantastic. Not great, but Toby
Never seen it.
Enough of good film to go to sleep to. But Toby Kebbell is a great actor, and I think they are going to be leaning more into the mocap. So that's my number 3 pick. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Great actor, experienced in the mocap, I think.
Tell you what, I'm just going to add one in here. Where,
an honourable mention.
Just a slight honourable mention.
I'm going to tell you not to do it. I'm going to tell you not to do it because I think I know what you're going to say.
Who am I going to say?
Well, don't say it because it's on my list.
Don't
say it. Don't say it because it's on my list. No, because it's on my list and I know what you're going to say. So don't say it. Don't say it because it's on my list. I swear to God, Kyle, if you say it,
if it's your one,
I fucking swear to God. I fucking swear to God.
I don't think it will. This is for voice only. Okay, so the Beast character, maybe he's just got a different voice as is the Beast. I mean, his whole appearance has changed. Why can't his sort of vocal performance change? And I think it would be a great one is Michael Ironside.
All right,
he's just got that very sort of like
all right.
Voice.
You're safe. For those who know, you know.
But yeah,
right. Who's your number 2?
My number 2, going a little bit younger, but someone who's definitely got sort of like he's been around in movies for years. He's starting some great franchises, and he is a star. He's
and
he is great.
Kyle's mum because she's got a big blue hairy muff.
It's Joel Edgerton.
Okay, all right, I like it.
Yeah. I just think
someone mentioned that in our comments actually as well. Well, they did like a full list.
Mm.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yo, slow down! That's like 3 weeks worth of videos."
Yeah, it was. Obviously, he's in The Warrior, which is probably one of my first times I've seen him. But subconsciously, obviously, we had seen him in Revenge of the Sith, episode 3. But yeah, this guy's, performance-wise, he's been in quite a few different things I've seen over the years. I've never seen him have like a big standout role, other than, for me at least, personally, from what I've seen, is in Warrior. So it'd be great to see this guy sort of, go about and do something quite different, because he plays, from what we can see, he's done very realistic characters. Why not go into something that's taking on these issues, but in a fictional manner, so to speak?
Yeah, no, I like that pick actually a lot. That's actually one I'm kind of bummed I didn't think about.
He'd be like more of my younger pick of Beast.
Okay. Yeah, right. Do you want my number 2?
Go for it.
My number 2 is who I genuinely believe is gonna be cast, but it's not my favourite pick. My favourite pick's obviously my number 1, but this is who I think is cast. And they've already been cast, and they've played Beast before, and they've played Beast in the MCU. Kelsey Grammer. He obviously returned for the post-credit scene in the Marvels. We know that there is going to be somewhat of an MCU reboot. Maybe we're even going to get an X-Men film before that, set in another universe. Maybe this universe that Monica Rambeau's trapped in. There's a reason why we've only seen Beast, and everyone else is going to get cast around that. I think Kelsey Grammer has already been cast to be Beast in the upcoming X-Men films. Obviously, he played him for the first time in The Last Stand. He was great in that. Then they went with more of a CGI approach, obviously, in the Marvel's post-credit scene. I think this person is already cast. It's not my favourite pick. I love Kelsey Grammer, though, and his Beast is probably the best part of Last Stand. One of the best parts from a very film. But Kelsey Grammer's Beast is amazing. And I truly believe he's already cast. I truly believe he's going to be Beast in the MCU. So, yeah. Anyway, who else you got?
For me, as my number 1, It's an actor that you know, he's someone that I've sort of seen in a couple other films. The most noticeable one for me was, the one that really stood out to me in his performance in was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. It's Jason Clarke. Obviously, he's done. You might recognise him from sort of like the really bad Terminator film they did a couple of years ago.
You might recognise him from the bad Terminator film.
Yeah, if you don't recognise the name, but
Okay.
everyone's seen that terrible John Connor. But he's when he's put in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, he plays a sort of like he wants to be sort of the mutual. He wants to be the somewhat ambassador for the humans, and he wants peace. What does Beast want to do?
Spread his love juice everywhere. Sorry.
He wants to sort of do a similar thing where he wants to create peace between mutants and humans. So that's just going off that performance in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I love that film, one of my all-time favorites, and Jason Clarke is easily like a standout, even with the beautiful effects and performances done by Andy Serkis and the rest of the cast. So yeah, he really made the humans, the human side of the story more interesting. And that being said, it did have what's his name now? I've forgotten his name. Gary Oldman, yeah. And
who was on my list?
I thought Gary Oldman would honestly steal the show, but it went to Jason Clarke in that film. Yeah. So that's where I sort of that's my number one pick.
Gary Oldman did not make it onto my list for this. My number one pick, people are going to think we planned this out beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Serkis. Like I say, I'm leaning heavily into the mocap, and why not anyone but the king of mocap himself? And this man can act. Now, yes, he's already been Claw. But once he's beasted up, they're not going to go, that's fucking Claw. And, Beast ain't going to be sat there going, it's the vibranium claw, you idiot. Why was that Arnold Schwarzenegger? Oh, well. But yeah, Andy Serkis for me, I think would play the perfect Beast. We've seen him play a perfect Alfred. We've seen him play a perfect Claw. We've seen him be a perfect Caesar. This man is perfect at everything he does. He was a perfect Snoke and then got cut in half, from what little screen time he had. His character in Andor, he doesn't need all the special effects to show you he can act. He can act. His last scene in Andor is fucking heartbreaking. I was nearly in fucking tears. I can't swim. Oh, gets me every time. But yeah, I think Andy Serkis is the best pick to play Beast in the MCU. Now, I do think it's going to be Kelsey Grammer, though. But, yeah. Anyway, I do like your list a lot, though, Kyle. A lot of great, and you can tell we've definitely gone for different. You've definitely, lent into the practical side, and I've definitely lent into the VFX side of things with this character. But yeah, right, guys, let us know down below who had the best list. Me. Let us know who you think should play Beast. Be nice. These are just fan castings after all. Nothing's definite.
Yep. No one's in charge.
Yep, no one's in charge of this, We don't want Kyle acting like a fucking victim after all. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't be a cunt. Remember that. That's important. I think we're going to add that to the end of every video now. Don't be a cunt. And yeah, thanks for watching. I guess we'll see you in the next video. Comment down below who we should do next. We've kind of already got an idea of who we're going to do next, but let us know. Say, no, I want to see this character next. I want to see, it could be Gambit. It could be Jean Grey. It could be, Jubilee. It could be Wolverine. Now, Wolverine's one I really want to stay away from. I want to do that maybe right at the end, if we actually do it at all. But yeah, people are going to say
have to do it.
We have to do it. You know, Gambit, Bishop. We did Storm. We did Magneto. We did Cyclops. We've done Beast. So, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next video.